everybody. Well, I just want to start off by saying I am not at home. I'm in my mother's room, and no, she did not let me redecorate in honor of this demo that I'm going to provide. And that's my greyhound, Finn, who will probably be there for the whole time. It's his favorite little spot. So I'm here. I'm the head of learning design at e180, and I'm so excited about this opportunity to speak to you all because, well, we're used to working in the events space, and I was, as everything was going down with the virus and all that, I was already doing a research project about what problems we can solve at Braindate for community managers and community organizers, because we see an incredible fit for the problems you're solving and the problems we're solving, and just our missions are so aligned. So I'm really excited to introduce you to our product and also our team, our service, our mission, our culture. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. And just so you know, we have my colleague Brian here who's going to pop in for the Q&A if there are any questions in the chat that I should respond to. And then I also have my colleague Alex who will be there in the chat as well, answering any questions that are easy enough to answer just in the chat. Hi, Matthew. Hi, Kate. Hi, Michelle. So I'm going to see if I can click this, and hopefully that helps people. I think if you can't see my slides, you can double click on that part and it'll get bigger. Okay, so here's me back when I had long brown hair. So just to start off, I want to introduce you to Braindate. It's created by our company e180, and our mission is to unlock human greatness by helping people learn from each other. So really, we are education forward, education first. We're all about learning, and this amazing community network weaving is a byproduct of collaborative learning in our mind. So important to note, and do tell us if you're also a B Corp. We're a certified B Corporation, which means that we practice business as a force for good. We're women-led and just all around awesome and love our culture. So what's a Braindate? Well, quite simply, it's a 30-minute knowledge sharing conversation between 2 to 5 people about a specified topic. It takes place in person or virtually. So similar words are meaningful connections, collaborative learning, and peer learning. So something to note is that when I say specified topic, I mean the topics are generated by the people who are using the platform. So your members would be creating topics that they would like to discuss with other people. Okay, so the way it works, I'm just doing a really quick run through of the product, but then I really want to focus on the fit we see for community organizers. So just so you can wrap your head around how it works, everyone in the community that you're organizing creates Braindate topics. So you see here, Youssef is sharing tips for engaging local communities in your next big creative project. So it's actually quite similar to some stuff I've been seeing organically happen on the CMX Slack space. People just reaching out saying, hey, anyone here know about this, or anyone here know about that, or like, can we bring our heads together and solve this question that's been bothering me? So it's the exact thing that this product was designed for. So then from that marketplace, if you like a topic, you click on it and you propose to meet with this person, and sometimes it's a one-on-one Braindate, and sometimes it's a group. So that's what the 2 to 5 people comes in. And then when it's time to meet, you meet online and have your Braindate. So what it creates is this sense of, a conversation that's really generated by a topic of interest. So there's nothing random about it. It's very intentional. So you walk in and the ice is already broken and you jump right into the meat of a conversation. So there are 2 benefits to the product. I'll speak to the benefit for the members of your community, but then I'll also speak to the benefits of the product for you as organizers, because there's really 2 sides to the platform. There's the organizer side and the user side. So on the user side, peer learning for community is also known as helping people you care about, collaborating on problems you love, gaining meaningful relationships, and learning from real stories face to face. I mean, so many of us today are working on things that don't have answers in textbooks, don't have answers online. Really, the answers lie in the hearts and minds of the people who've been there before you. So we're trying to get people to collaborate together and solve each other's problems. Then on the flip side, I wanted to share 5 reasons why we absolutely love community organizers. So from all the research I was doing, I found out that there's just an incredible fit between us. So first, you are mission driven. You want to help people solve meaningful problems. So do we. And second, you care about fostering a sense of belonging. Now, this is incredible as a challenge to do virtually, and that's exactly what we're all about as well. You seek to measure impact beyond engagement. So this was something I was really drawn to as like one of the sort of next frontiers in community organizing is like, you know, we often measure the number of impressions or the engagement around something that was put out, but how do you measure the impact of that thing on the business, on the person who interacted with it, whatever. And so we're all about measuring impact. 4, you scale by fostering community autonomy. So I think this was an incredible insight we saw from, you know, huge product communities, is that they are so successful and so big because they put it in the hands of their members to organize things for themselves, organize things for each other. And then also you scale the impact by fostering collaboration among members. This was an amazing point I heard in the recent session from Tara. She said, you know, fostering a culture of collaboration is really what's going to get your community to scale and be as impactful as it could be. Because people who use your products or people you're gathering together can really help each other. So on the flip side, for you all, organizing a peer learning community is also known as scaling up that sense of warmth and belonging in a sustainable way. So if you wanted to really bring that hyper-personalized value to people, how do you do that to scale? And the answer is getting people to provide that to each other. You can also leverage a gold mine of insights for good and for your business. So whether it's to serve the people that you have this data about or to feed, you know, other teams in your organization like marketing, sales, you know, your whole editorial calendar can be filled with, you know, what are the top 5 things that people want to learn about in your community? Who are the top 20 people who really stood out as like the most amazing collaborators in your community as well? So by using Braindate, you get to have all of this data. And then generating impact beyond engagement. So we often say that, you know, a conversation can change a life, and we've been measuring our impact for the last few months, and we see amazing results from people who've gone on Braindates. These relationships that, you know, end up transforming into business partnerships or collaborations of other kinds, or just like lifelong mentors, lifelong friends. There's something about having a really meaningful and personalized conversation with someone that carries through for years, actually, we've seen. So a little more in the nitty gritty of what you can do. I've talked a lot about the data. So there are 3 things. You can track engagement, as we already love to do, just how many things are happening, like what's the rate at which people are using the various aspects of the product. So you can have like connections, the brain dates, the topics that have been created. What are those topics about? How many are there? But then also measuring impact. So imagine you could know how many people in your community learned from another customer, not just interacted, but had a conversation that resulted in a learning outcome. And how many people have an unmet learning need that you could fill maybe through some other tactic. And how many people achieved a learning goal that can be celebrated. You know, we've been talking a lot today about how to celebrate people in your community, make people feel valued. I mean, these are all things that tie into what Braindate is all about. Third, you can leverage insights. So this is just one example of all the stuff you can know when you're fostering community through Braindate, is that you know what people are interested in learning about. You know, there's so much data about, like, given this space, what do people like? What do people need? What do people, you know, what's the next frontier of your own community's thinking? So I wanted to just wrap up there. And I know that was pretty quick, but we only do have a few minutes. Actually, right on time. We've got 5 minutes left for some Q&A. So I'm just going to leave this here up on the screen. If you do want to contact us and get to know more about how we work together. And please, 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 if you are on Twitter, in the Twitter sphere, on LinkedIn and whatnot, we love interacting up on there, sharing ideas, sharing resources. So please don't hesitate. All right, so I'm opening up the chat now to see, and Brian, if you want to jump in, just gonna have a look. So sharing the link. That's any questions, you can type them in the chat now, and I can answer. And if not, well, if there's something else you want me to clarify, or Brian, if you think that might be something that I might have missed out on saying.
Hey, Michèle. I saw a question to clarify maybe the difference when engaging people face-to-face as opposed to virtually. So if you want to speak a little bit about the difference between the two, that would be great.
Absolutely. So when I said that we, work in an in-person space, we've been incredibly successful in conferences and events. So when people meet really actually in person, and then we developed a virtual component of our experience, bringing entirely online, right on time for right now. And so, normally at a conference, you would set up these brain dates, and then you go meet in a physical space called the Braindate Lounge, and we have our hosts there. They're our learning concierge, who are a big part of our experience as well, because learning is like oddly uncomfortable for adults. Like we were trained to see things a certain way, and so we have some wonderful humans who facilitate the experience, whether it's on site at an event, they travel there in person in a couple of years, and then but if it's in a virtual space, we have our same learning concierge available within the platform in a live chat. So if you are blocked in what topic you want to create or whatever, they're there to help you along, and to also just make you feel comfortable with sharing knowledge. Anything else on there, Brian, that would be worthwhile explaining, or anything you feel I missed out on?
No, I think that's great. I saw a lot of questions, generally speaking, about the platform. So I shared with you the links to reach out to us. Don't hesitate. We'll be happy to walk you through what we have and discuss your particular use cases.
All right. And thanks, Carrie Ann. I think we're pretty much good to go. We'll be online in the chat for a few more minutes if anyone has any lingering questions. And I'm in the Slack space. You can find me in most of the channels if you have any other questions. And yeah, we're really looking forward to hearing from you.